now, we've talked about rewarding for results, playing to your strengths, time management for managers, and inspiring peak performance in your employees. I want to end this series by talking about how to deal with difficult employees. Now, difficulty can be described in many different ways. They can be difficult because they have a bad attitude. They can be difficult because they're extremely competitive and not very considerate of their peers or their colleagues. They can be difficult because they're sort of the wrong fit for that position, but at this particular time, you're not at liberty to move them into the position where they would be better suited. They could be difficult because they are truly fine as a worker, but they have personal issues, family issues, health issues that keep bleeding into their work that make them a difficult employee. And they could be a difficult employee simply because they don't meet deadlines when they should. Whatever difficult means for you, I just want to give you a few things to keep in mind whenever and before you confront or address that employee regarding his or her behavior. I want you to consider yourself. I want you to consider the employee, and I want you to consider the mission. First, considering yourself. There's a verse in the Bible that says, before you confront your brother and your sister about a particular behavior, or if you find yourself in conflict with a brother and sister in a particular situation, before you accuse, consider yourself. Is there something that you're saying or that you're doing that is contributing to the conflict? Oftentimes, it is very hard for us to truly see our own behavior. We think we're coming across this way, but the way it's being read and interpreted is completely different. And so when it comes to that particularly difficult employee, I invite you to consider yourself and ask yourself, is there something that you're doing or saying that is actually implicating, triggering that behavior in that employee? Are they responding to something that you're doing? In other words, are you the one who needs to change? Are you the one who needs to improve in order for the situation to get better? That takes real humility, real maturity, and a real sense of respect and confidence and security in yourself to do that. But it can make a tremendous difference. After you've considered yourself, then and only then do I want you to consider the employee. And by consider the employee, I want you, to the best of your ability, try to discern why that employee is behaving the way he or she is. All behavior has a source. It's coming from someplace. And all behavior has some sort of benefit. In some form or fashion, that employee is benefiting from the behavior that they display. Now, stay with me. I'm not saying that your employee necessarily enjoys driving you crazy, enjoys driving his or her peers crazy, enjoys turning in substandard or subpar work. But just like children who sort of act out in negative ways in order to get their parents' attention, or who externalize some sort of internal trauma or angst that they're experiencing, your employee is behaving that way for a reason. That behavior has a source. And like I tell my students in Sociology 101, if you want to do an effective research project, the better you define the problem, the more accurately you can pinpoint the solution. When dealing with a difficult employee, the more accurately you can pinpoint the why of their behavior, the more accurately you'll be able to pinpoint the solution. And the solution may not necessarily be eliminating the behavior. The solution may be simply mitigating the behavior or somehow constraining the behavior so that it doesn't have a negative impact on the team, it doesn't have a negative impact on the project, and it doesn't have a negative impact on the mission. Which leads me to the third consideration. Consider the mission when you're considering the employee. And by considering the mission, I mean two things. One, ask yourself, take a hard look and ask, is this employee's behavior keeping us from getting to the goal? Yes, it's annoying. Yes, it's off-putting. Yes, it may cause you to scratch your head. But is it keeping you from getting to the goal? If the answer is no, you may just want to leave well enough alone. Remember, you're their boss. You're not their minister. You're not their therapist. It's not your job to fix every little thing that's wrong with them and make them a better person. Your job is to manage them in their role and their responsibility so that they work with the team to get everybody to the goal. So if the behavior is not keeping the team from getting to the goal, you may just want to leave it alone and tell everybody else to simply calm down. That's just the way they are. The work is getting done. Let's just keep moving forward. Now, if their behavior is implicating the mission, then you want to address their behavior with the mission in mind. Again, not with the goal of fixing the person, but with the goal of addressing whatever part of their behavior is hindering the mission, and focus on that. If you need to seek professional help, then do so. But again, whatever you do to address that behavior, make sure you're doing it with the mission in mind. Not trying to fix the person, but trying to improve their performance with the understanding that by getting one, you may actually get the other. So again, when dealing with a difficult employee, consider yourself first, always. Then consider the employee and do your best to discern their why so that you know exactly what the best resolution may be. And then finally, consider the mission. Is this something that really needs to be addressed, or is it better left alone? And if it's something that does need to be addressed, make sure that it's addressed with the mission in mind. So this is the fifth and final part of our How to Be a Better Boss series. And I want to thank you for being here for all 5 parts, for registering for this. I certainly hope that you have found value with it. It's not too late to share this with your family and your friends. You have the link. You can give them access to the link as well. In the meantime, please stay tuned for other free training series just like this one that are designed to help you do better in whatever space and place that you're in, improve your own personal and professional performance, and help you achieve whatever your goals, your dreams, and your visions are. My name is Tara Andrews. It has been my pleasure being with you for these last 5 weeks. Thank you again for joining me, and have a pleasant week.